So with percent problems, what we're going to be looking at is trying to find either a percent, a part, or a base. And so the relationship between, well, what a percent, if you recall what it is, it's just a fraction with a denominator of 100. And we usually, again, with fractions, we're comparing a part to a whole or a part to a base or everything. And the relationship's going to be this. The part over the base is equal to the percent, and this is always going to be here, divided by 100. Or put more simply, P over B equals R over 100. And so this is a formula we're going to use for these kinds of problems. So to show you that this works, so 1/4, it's typically 20, well, not typically, it's 25%. So we'll put 25 over 100. Now, 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. And then 25 divided by 100, well, that means you're going to move your decimal 2 spots to the left. So that's also 0.25. So make this an example. And so sure enough, that checks out. So this is how the formula works. So how do we use this to solve problems? And there's 3 types of problems we're going to use with this formula. So first off, I want to introduce something called the cross product rule. And what it says is this. If you have A over B equal to C over D, then A times D is equal to B times C. Another way of thinking about this is A over B equals C over D. And we'll do something called cross multiplying. If A times D equals B times C. So that's another way of thinking about it. And this is going to be a trick we're going to use with this percent formula. Now let me verify this one for you. Let's go back to this. So this is A and B, C and D. So we can think of cross multiplication like so. So this would say that 1 times 100, is this equal to 4 times 25? And sure enough, it is. So this checks out. So using these two tricks, we're going to use this percent formula, PB equals R over 100. And then we're going to use this cross multiplication to actually solve for something. And so what's going to happen, we have this PB equals R over 100. We have a number, 100, and then three variables, P, B, and R. And what's going to happen is we're going to be given questions where one of those variables, well, it's going to actually be a variable. It's not going to have a numerical representation that we know of. We have to solve for it. So let me do an example. So what number is 25% of 40? So the way we do this, so this is part, base, and percent. So we do have a percent, it's 25. So that's fairly easy. Now this other number, 40, is this a part or a base? Well, if we're taking 25% of something, we're taking a part of it. So that means we take the part out of the base. So if we're taking a part out of the base, it means the base is 40. And then the unknown is going to be the part. You can think of it as what part is 25% of 40, and he didn't give us the part. So we take our formula, x over 40 is 25 over 100. And now we use that cross product rule. But x times 100, 40 times 25. Divide both sides by 100. We find that x, or the part, is equal to 10, or 10 is 25% of 40. Questions about that? So that's one example. Let me do another one. So let's say we're given something like this. What percent of 28 is 21? So again, P, B, and R. Now they don't give us a percent. They're asking about the percent. So that's going to be X. Now, a percent of something, well, we take a percent out of a chunk, out of a whole, or a base. So we're going to take a percent out of the base. So this is 28. And then they're actually asking what percent of 28 is 21? Like 21 is part of 28. So that's going to be 21. So P over V equals R over 100, where 21 over 28 equals X over 100. So again, we'll cross multiply. $21 times 100 equals 28x. And so this is 2100 is 28x. Divide both sides by 28. And this will be 75 equals X. Questions about that? So last one. So we've had a situation where the part is missing. We had a situation where the percent is missing. Now let's look at it when the base is missing. Oh, and since this is a percent, I make sure I insert my percent sign. So 240 is 12% of what number? So P, B, and R. Well, the percent's given, so that's going to be 12. Now, 240 is a percent of something. That means it's a part of something. So that's going to be our part. But what's it a part of? Well, they don't tell us. So that's our X. So P over V equals R over 100, or 240 over X is 12 over 100. And once again, we're going to cross multiply. So we'll get 2,400. Oh no, 24,000. Divide both sides by 12. And this will give us 2,000. And that's going to be it. So let me stop the recording there. That's going to be it for percents.